Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the War Train here. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys an update to my game room. Now, I've had some of you ask me in the comments about doing this video, and with everything that's going on in the world, right now is the perfect time, especially with everybody cooped up in their house, staring at their four walls. It's, cool to see something else. So, I'm going to show you guys where I spend most of my time outside of work and where I spend a ton of time editing these videos and gaming. So here it is, guys, the 2020 Game Room Tour. Okay guys, so this is normally what you see, but actually going back into this area, this is what I see. Now, if you can see behind me, I do have the Symphony of the Night here with Alucard. Absolutely awesome. I actually bought Alucard to put next to the Symphony of the Night disc. I love that game. One of my favorite games, and I just have a bunch of odd stuff kind of mixed on these the shelving here. On the bottom, it's pretty much stacked with games. As you can see, I have a GameCube there, with Bayonetta on it, but I do take that out. A lot of this stuff does get moved quite a bit. Plus, too, I clean pretty often. I mean, as you can see, everything's kind of got a spot. I get very OCD, and I think most people that collect are OCD with a lot of their stuff. And this is where I keep all my gaming books, well, most of them anyway. And as you can see, I have a bunch of magazines, strategy guides and stuff. I've got, strategy guides down there, books, gaming books, all kinds of stuff. And this thing is just, like I said, stacked with games. You can see I have the Game Boy here, but there's games all behind all this stuff. That's just all games back there, and it's stacked all the way over to the end of the shelving. I mean, I pretty much have games everywhere in here. Somewhere there's just games kind of piled up in different areas. I mean, I have a mix of Wii U, PlayStation 2, PS4, which I have a lot of VR titles there. PS1, and up here is where I keep my GameCube games behind Alucard. It is just a bunch of my GameCube games and a couple of Wii U titles. And then right here I have, Breath of the Wild, obviously. And then behind that, that's actually the Creating a Champion book, which that is extremely awesome. That was something that they had out a little while back. It was definitely on the pricey side, but it was really cool. Now, I made a video a while back opening that up. It was on gaming books, and I opened that thing up and show you what's inside. It's really cool, and that was definitely worth the money, in my opinion. So up here I got these little mini arcades, Pac-Man and Galaga, two absolutely great games. These things do charge up, and you can play them wireless. The marquee lights up on these things are really cool. My son likes to come over and snag them up and just start playing on them. And then I just have stuff stacked. Because, like I said, I'm running out of room. I mean, I just am starting to get so much stuff, I don't know where to put it. You can see I got Shovel Knight Amiibos up here, Miss Pac-Man Plug and Play. I really like these little plug and plays. There for a while, I was kind of just picking them up. And then up here, I got Amiibos. I got some Capcom ones. Got Mega Man, Ken, and Ryu. I thought it totally fit because of, the Capcom theme here with Street Fighter 2. Of course, I was going to put Ken and Ryu there. It just made absolute sense. And I really do love these arcade one-ups. They do have their flaws, but they're a ton of fun. It's nice to have multiple ones because I can just jump on any one I feel like. And I love that. That's why I'm really thinking about buying another one. I really want the Mortal Kombat one. I always have. And lately I've been getting that itch again to get one, so don't be shocked if I have one all of a sudden. But the CRT TVs are pretty much a must-have. Now, as you can see, I got a bunch of retro consoles down here. This isn't actually an NES. It's a 8-bit Gamertech 8-bit or something. Basically, you know, can play through component cables or HDMI. Just something real cheap. It's just, you know, at one time I just wanted a quick way to play NES games. And I got more NES carts over here. And I got them pretty much all stacked down here. This is pretty much where I keep all my NES carts. And then underneath it, I actually have my Pokemon Nintendo Switch Lite. Now that actually has the system in the box. And underneath, I have the C64 Mini and my NES Zapper that my son likes to take and run around and play with. And then I just have some PSP games, some VHS tapes that I picked up at the pawn store, the thrift store, I mean, and a bunch of games I got from the thrift store as well. Every one of those games right there came from the thrift store. It's just, I have so many pickups, like so frequently, that I'm running out of space and I just don't know where to put this stuff. And recently after I got the Alucard, the Castlevania figure, I had to go get the other two. So I got Trevor Belmont and Sypha Belnades. These things are awesome. I don't normally collect a bunch of figures, but I love Castlevania and these figures are awesome. I really like the Netflix show. I think it is just super cool. It definitely does Castlevania serious justice. And then behind that, I actually have the box for my PlayStation VR, which it actually was inside at one point. It's just an empty box now, but I could pack it up if I wanted to. And then I got my original Xbox carrying case. This is something I had since Xbox originally came out. And this is where I used to, you know, put my Xbox when I was traveling with it. Because even though it is a heavy and huge system, I used to take it with me sometimes back in the day. Not a very portable system, but I mean, it definitely helps to have a bag like that where you could put everything in. And as you can see, I got the Death Stranding Collector's Edition with Norman Reedus and the baby there. Which all that stuff is still inside the box, minus the game. I try to keep everything kind of intact and in good condition. I do have my Switch version 2 box. That actually has pretty much everything inside of it except for the dock and the console. Because I use the console, but I do probably still have the HDMI cable in there, the little straps for the Joy-Cons, you know, all that extra stuff is probably still in that box. And I could put my version 2 in there and it'd probably look like I never even touched it. And then I have a Sega Genesis Mini on top of that, and some figures, some little characters. I love, you know, Metroid. So I got a bunch of little Metroid characters on top of the Switch Lite box, the blue one. And that console obviously is not in the box either. That is one I definitely have out and play on. And then behind that, I have this huge Luigi's Mansion double-sided poster that I got from GameStop. This thing is absolutely awesome. They completely did me a solid by giving this to me. And it was so cool, it had to go on the wall. And then I have the Smash Brothers Ultimate poster up there that I got from pre-ordering the game from GameStop. And just some Amiibos in the back here. I got Waluigi and Wario, and I got the one for Samus Returns, Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS. They came out with that one right there. And then on top of my CRT here in front, I have the PlayStation Classic Standee from GameStop. These guys totally hooked me up with this thing. They, you know, the manager, my buddy Dan, he promised he would give this to me when they were done, displaying it. They displayed it for quite a while. But it was really cool. You know, time went by and he gave it to me. So that's what I did with it. I put it up there and I put the box next to it. And what better way to display it than some Cloud Amiibos? So I have both of the Cloud Amiibos right next to it. So I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool way to display that thing. And we got Cappy hanging in the corner here. And as you can see on this CRT, I have, you know, the Ghost from Pac-Man. A pretty cool light. I just had to have it. Pac-Man's so iconic. Something I had to have. A big part of my childhood. And then I have my couple Link Amiibos up there. Some of my favorites. Actually, two of my almost most favorites. You know, we have the Majora's Mask one and the Ocarina of Time one. Just absolutely awesome Amiibos. And then I got some 8-bit characters. Mega Man. We have Jason from Friday the 13th, even though my son busted his knife off of him. And just little characters. Luigi, Dr. Mario. Got Shy Guy down there. A little McDonald's Mario Odyssey toy that came with a Happy Meal that my kids got. And then we got, you know, some Street Fighter 2 characters in the 8-bit style. And then I have this shelving with just a bunch of consoles. You can see I have a Sega Genesis on there, an Xbox original. That actually is my original Xbox, you know, that I've had for a long time now. I even still have the little piece on the front that is so you can watch DVDs. That's what the remote worked off of. I got another one of my GameCubes, and I got the Nintendo 64. As you can see, I got Mario Tennis playing on screen. And then in the back, it's a little tough to see. You see the controller, but I have the PlayStation 2 Slim back there that my buddy Sam from Contagious Collections got me. So I really appreciate that, Sam. But yeah, I got that tucked back there, and you know, I just use that to game a lot of retro gaming, and I do use this quite a bit because I got a lot of these games right here for these older systems. So I pretty much just pop them in, sit on the floor here, and play like I used to play when I was a kid. And as you can see on the shelf too, where I have like some handhelds and stuff, and I just could come over here at any time, grab them, and just start playing. That's the great thing. And as you can see too by the you know, the Pac-Man and the Galaga machine, I have these other little plug and plays, these Namco ones. You know, another thing, I could just grab them, plug them into the CRT, and just start gaming right away on whatever I feel like. Absolutely awesome. So, such a cool little area. I definitely love this spot, and that's pretty much why I've been doing my videos here. I just absolutely love this little area that I set up, and it's just a lot of fun. And as you can see on the floor, I have a bunch of the Starlink stuff stacked up. Now, these were super cheap during the holidays. I got these things for dirt cheap. My buddy Steve Craig, and he has an awesome channel. You should check him out. But Steve, I seen his video, and he picked up these things for like, I think they were like, I can't remember now. I want to say they were like $5 for the ships. You know, I was just like, what? I was like, wow, I have to get them. Because I think originally they were like $20 or something crazy. Originally, I was never planning on getting these. I did buy the Star Fox bundle there. Actually, that's my second one. But I bought my first one on launch day, and it was $75. Well, I could tell you right now, everything sitting there, I didn't even probably pay $60 for, which is crazy. So I bought as much as this stuff while I could when it was dirt cheap. Each ship I think I paid $5 for, and the other little things I think I just paid like $2 or $3 a piece for. So it was definitely worth it. And then up above that on this little stand here, I have my Yoshi Amiibos and just some Pokemon stuff, and the little construction hats from Mario and Luigi from Mario Maker. That's what they were giving out at GameStop when Mario Maker 2 came out. And underneath there is actually my router. I basically just have it buried. I have a Nighthawk. Netgear Nighthawk router. That's how I power all this crazy gaming stuff I got here. Definitely a quality router, especially when you got all this stuff, you need something good. And as you can see, got another one of these McDonald's Mario Odyssey guys here. Some more Amiibos. Definitely love collecting Amiibos. They're really hard to get, some of them, but I did have a good time chasing these things down. I don't know why. It just became like one of those things where I was just having a blast doing it. So as you can see here, I have a bunch more. And these are pretty much all the newest ones. We got the Castlevania ones. The Shulk isn't new, but that was one that I got recent. That was a newer re-release. That was one figure I didn't have. But you can see my Super Mario 3D World Wii U box I got there. Absolutely love Mario 3D Land. Hopefully they'll put it on the Switch. And if you've watched my channel recently, you've probably seen me talk about getting new posters and stuff from GameStop. These guys definitely hooked me up. Well, I got this Final Fantasy VII Remake one, and I put it up here on my door. That thing was too cool. It had to go up. So that was something I put up right after, I think, a video I talked about putting it up. I put it up right away. Thing is way too cool to sit on the floor. Because down here by this fan I actually have the rest of them. All the Doom ones and the Cyberpunk ones. I still need to put them up. I actually have a spot for the Doom and the Cyberpunk. I just haven't got to it yet. So those won't be sitting on the floor for too much longer. But I got some of my old CDs there. I pretty much don't even listen to them anymore because I'm just too busy to, you know, and got too much other stuff going on. But over here, this is where I have my Amiibos, the Zelda ones. On this wall here, I have all my Legend of Zelda Amiibos. Every one that was basically made. Not every variant, but every one that you can, you know, basically get. I absolutely love these things. This is how my Amiibo collecting started. It started with trying to get these Legend of Zelda ones. And some of them took me a while to get. It was very hard to chase some of these down. And I do have doubles of a lot of these at this point. But getting them for the first time was very difficult. Especially some of the ones that were released a while back. Like these ones on the top here are probably the hardest to get, even though the Link Ocarina of Time and the Majora's Mask one were re-released, but before they were re-released, they were like impossible to find. And the Twilight Princess and the Skyward Sword ones and the Toon Link and Zelda 2-pack, very difficult to get as well. But these things are absolutely so cool. I had to have all of them. And then we got my tripod. This is what I have my camera on, and that's what I record all these videos with. Well, one of the cameras anyway. And then we got the games over here. Man, as you can see, I just have them stacked. And the sad part is, all those games are double stacked. There's games behind games. It's absolutely crazy. That's why I say I need a better way to display them and to have them all out. And I'll show that a little closer, but I'll just show you all my other Amiibos. I got a bunch of them on the wall here because I had to start putting them somewhere at some point, so I started hanging them on the walls. Because originally I didn't even have them on the walls. I just had them sitting around, but I got so many that I had no choice but to start hanging them. Now there's just so many of them, and there's still a bunch that I don't have, but I do got quite a few of them. Like I said, I really like collecting these. I haven't like really searched any out in a while, other than just the new releases. But some of the older ones, like there's the Duck Hunt Dog and stuff, that one with the NES colors of Rob that I don't have. I do have just the Rob the Famicom variant, which is actually right there. And I got another one right there. But another area where I just have stuff stacked up. Neo Geo Mini, my Metroid trilogy, Metroid Prime trilogy. Absolutely love the Metroid franchise, period. Got some The Legend of Zelda DS games. There's one of them there, Phantom Hourglass. And then over here I got the Spirit Tracks. And then I have the Starlink, Star Fox, just my first one actually displayed here on top of Octopath Traveler's Wayfarer Edition. And then you can see on top of the Wolfenstein New Colossus or whatever, that's the collector's edition with badass Billy Blazkowicz inside there, a big figure, which is still sealed. I have my Mega Man 11 amiibo here that the game actually came in as well. And then I have the Mega Man Legacy Collection with the gold amiibo. This one is still sealed. That one is, I used to see it just sitting on shelves. And now that's like one of the hardest amiibos to get and one of the you know, most expensive. I think that thing goes for like $100+. And then above that I have some Smash stuff. The bigger box from the Smash Ultimate that came with the Pro Controller. Definitely wanted that Pro Controller, so. But pretty cool. And then underneath here I have this shelf that I got at a yard sale for like $5, and I just stacked it with games. At one time I just had Switch games, like just a single row, and it's crazy how much this has grown. But as you can see here, I have like Vita games here, and if I take these off, I've got another row of Vita games behind there. And it's the same with everything. Same with Xbox One games. They're stacked behind there. Right here, there's Xbox 360 games stacked behind those games. So I have just, you know, double stacks of all this stuff. Same with the Wii games behind there. It's all double stacked. See if I can pull this out without making a huge mess. I don't know if you can see, take out a couple, but yeah, see, if you can see that, there's just games back there. The whole row is just stacked with all Wii U games. So that just kind of gives you an idea how many I actually had. And it's like that with all this stuff. I got 3DS games here. Now that one isn't completely stacked behind it with 3DS games. There is some DS games and stuff back there, and there is a little bit of empty space, but I could fill it up very, very easily, honestly, because over here I have more. And the same thing, the Xbox One games, there's just a stack of stacks of games behind there. Now there's original Xbox games back there as well as 360 games. And I believe there's also some Xbox One games back there. And the Switch, that is completely just stacked, because these stack different because of them being shorter. So, same thing. This is all like that whole row. There's a whole nother row behind that. Then these stacks that you see on top, there's the same exact stack behind it stacked up. So just to give you an idea, pretty much whatever you see there, multiply that by 2. And then everything you see here. Which I have these games all sitting on top of a little Double Dragon plug and play here. With some Vita games and some 3DS games. So that's what I'm saying. I definitely need a better way to store some of these games here. And then I got my entertainment center here. This is my 75-inch HD TV for my 4K gaming on my PlayStation 4 Pro and my Xbox One X. And you can see I got one of my Switches there. And a bunch of controllers that are still sealed. And I have a NES and Super NES Classic, and those are both brand new, sealed. And I got a bunch of my handhelds right over here because I actually charge them right here. So I usually have them down here charging, then I just come over, grab one, and take it with me wherever and just start playing. And if you can see down in there, it's probably a little dark. I got some steel books and some other, just a couple games. I got my little Mario Rabbids guy, and up here I got Yoshi Rabbids with a PS Vita game, Cursed Castilla limited edition. And I got my Smash Brothers Steelbook back there. And as you can see, I got Amiibos kind of just all kind of spread out all over. And then over here I got, my retro systems, the minis anyway, and a bunch of my retro carts. So I just have a bunch of consoles stacked all over the place. Controllers. I mean, it's absolutely mad with just all kinds of stuff here. Because as you can see, like I said, I got my PS4 Pro and my Xbox One X sitting there. And a lot of this stuff I need quick access because I take it back to my computer and I put it on my Elgato, and that's how I capture the video footage. And, my Wii U there, and even behind there, got an Xbox 360. I got my Super NT Mini. That's how I play my Super Nintendo games with my 8-bit Do controllers. And, these are all my N64 carts, Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, Super Nintendo games. Right here, these Super Hydora and Iconoclast are PlayStation Vita limited run games. And then I got my Japanese Golden Famicom Mini. And just a bunch of all kinds of mixed stuff. Super Metroid, some big box Switch games, some NES stuff, just all kinds of different things. The Wii U. Big box for Mario Maker, the first one. And I got some PlayStation 3s here, PlayStation 1, my PSVR. I got a War box, and just a bunch of random gaming stuff. Let's see, the Toki Retro Collector Edition, that's back there, that Switch game. We got La Mulana 1 and 2. Collector's Edition. We got the Pokemon Sword and Shield Strategy Guide, the Collector's Edition. I got some Legend of Zelda glasses and stuff that I just have displayed in the boxes. And something my buddy Steve Craig got me here, the Legend of Zelda Collector Fun Box. Something that I have with the Zelda stuff there. And then right above that, I have basically my Zelda shrine here. This thing is kind of always changing because I get new stuff and I rearrange it. But I absolutely love this, and these are some of my favorite games ever. And I got the controller my buddy Sam from Contagious Collections made and sent me, which is absolutely awesome. So thanks again, Sam. I really appreciate it, buddy. Got all kinds of just different variants of Breath of the Wild here. The Wii U version, the Switch version, the Master Edition. Then I got some of the box Game Boy Advance games. And one that I recently got, the Majora's Mask Collector's Edition, which is absolutely awesome. And the first two complete in box. And then just some other like World of Nintendo figures and stuff that I picked up through the years. This is where I have most of my PlayStation 4 games. They kind of go all the way down, but I also have them stacked on the wall. Like I said, I have games kind of all over the place. And then I have some of my Cuphead stuff here. Some cereal. Absolutely love Cuphead. You know, my little Samson, but that's actually a repro. I've had some people ask me if that was a real cart. Unfortunately, no. I wish it was. That would be awesome. It is a good repro, though. It uses a real NES cartridge, but it's done super high quality, but it is definitely not a real one. If it was, it wouldn't be sitting there, that's for sure. But that Wario's Woods there is one of my only sealed NES games, which is kind of cool because that is the first Nintendo game that actually had the ESRB rating on it, which is definitely odd to see on an NES cartridge, and something that you just don't think about. But I love that box art. It's just so vibrant, and that actually still has the hang tab on it, which is really cool. And then I have some of my pop figures here. I only have a few. Got Kratos and Atreus. I love God of War, so I had to get that Stonemason edition. And then here I have the box for my limited edition Marvel arcade 1-up for the Marvel superheroes. And then obviously on top of it here you see the Animal Crossing Switch that I just recently got. That is in the box. And then I have a bunch of my Animal Crossing Amiibos that I recently picked up on top here. And one of the second copy of the game, I actually just put the Switch case up there. And that's the thing too, when I was talking about the Switch games and needing to display them on shelves and stuff like that. It's like, you know, even where you see them piled up, I still have games sitting all over the room. And then this is all just closet space here. I actually do my laundry back in this middle section. But, you know, as you can see here, I got some more Zelda Amiibos. Now, this one, I actually have this Toon Link one by himself, which is pretty cool. And then I have this awesome, like, little picture that I bought, just with all the different variants of Link from through the games. And over here, I got some more Amiibos. These are some of my Pokemon Amiibos. Got Detective Pikachu, which is pretty cool. Thing is absolutely huge. And I'll back up here because this is an area you guys never get to see, which now houses a green screen and a big light stand. But this is where I make all my videos here. As you can see, I have this whatever you call it, poster or scroll from Breath of the Wild that I got from the Creating a Champion book set. That was actually in it, so I put it above my computer. And I got Cappy hanging there. But this is where I make all the videos and stuff. And I got a little Doom Eternal Standee I got from my buddies at GameStop. And I had to buy the McFarlane Doom Slayer to put with that. And I also got the little Doom Eternal lunchbox that you got if you pre-ordered Doom Eternal from GameStop, which I thought that was pretty cool. But I got a big nest of wires here. You know, my cable management, even being an electrician, is just a mess because I'm just so busy and I'm always swapping things and swapping consoles and moving stuff. You know, it's a mess. Because I'll show you the back here of where I have the arcades, this is kind of what it looks like from over here. You just see the backs of them, because I've had people ask me, hey, do you have those in the middle of the room? And you know, I do. That's what I was saying, that little area is just kind of, I just made it like a little retro area. So I'll back up so you can kind of see that whole area from further back. And I got that green screen, which is absolutely awesome, but man, I'll tell you what, it takes up a lot of space. Now I do have you know, bags that I can break it down and put it away, but I use this stuff so frequent that there's no sense of even doing that. So, you know, having that stuff for the channel kind of takes up a lot of space, but it's all good because it's definitely worth it. You know, this is definitely a lot of fun. Putting out these videos and just being creative with the stuff is a blast. And I'm always moving this stuff around depending on what kind of videos I'm making. But I got the turtle box here from the Arcade 1-Up. I have all the boxes from these, and as you can see, I've just piled stuff on top of them. I got these Star Wars limited run NES carts and the N64 cart that I recently got. And I got the Wii Fit Plus here, which is complete and basically brand new in the box, that I got at like a flea market. And above that I got my Ring Fit and just some more Amiibos and collector's editions and my Sikyo Shooting Stars you know, editions, which I don't have the games in there. I just have the boxes there. The games I actually keep in little sleeves, and I keep a lot of the Switch games I play in sleeves. I'll show you right here by my computer. The ones that aren't in my cases are right there in these little sleeves. I have a ton of sleeves with Switch games that I have all over the place, and I'm always rotating which one I have and everything. But we got more stuff back here in the corner. I have my Sega Genesis stuff, some cool stuff down here. This Sega Genesis mini poster I got from my buddies at GameStop. They were kind enough to give me that, and I got some Sega Genesis games there, just to display with Sonic. And that actually is another Sega Genesis mini. That one is still in the box. That one, I have one that I keep out and one that I never opened. And then I have my Sega Genesis 6-button controller back there, which that thing is awesome. Even the box is awesome, so I had to put that with that little display there. And then I have my second NES Classic box. This one's empty, with a couple of my empty Switch boxes from my original first 2 Nintendo Switches that I bought. And then just more stuff, more Amiibos. Got tons of Amiibos. And then I got my God of War Stonemason Edition all displayed here. This thing is so cool. I absolutely love this statue. And we got this guy, Mimir, the smartest man alive. He actually talks.
They call me Mimir, smartest man alive. And I have the answer to your every question. They call me Mimir, smartest man alive.
Just cool. Cool as hell. But I got more Amiibos stacked up here. Just more like glasses in the box. Just boxes for other odds and ends. Some Amiibos. Controller boxes. Some of them actually have controllers in them and they're just not opened yet. I have that Rick and Morty virtual reality game for the PS4, the collector's edition. That's still sealed. Actually has a pop figure in there. I guess there's a chase variant, but I have never opened it, so I don't know if I have the variant. But there I got my Black Sad Collector's Edition that I got for $19.99. Definitely a good deal. Well, yeah, guys, so this is where I spend most of my time when I'm not at work. Basically down here, gaming or making videos. It is an absolute blast. And this is what I see behind me. Absolutely love this TV. So sometimes when I'm waiting for the videos to like finalize or whatever, I'll come over here and either play a game or watch some TV. Usually watch YouTube or game. It's one or the other. I don't watch much else. But got Animal Crossing on right now. Absolutely loving this game. It's just really cool. It looks really good, especially on this TV. I love having my Xbox One X and PS4 Pro hooked up to here. That's why it's hard for me to want to leave down here, is because I have everything cool that I'd ever want down here. So, as you can imagine, I like to spend my time down here. But this is the 2020 Game Room, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, checking out all my stuff that I have down here in my game room. I had a lot of fun showing this stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys think that I definitely need to get some shelves for my games or what? I think everybody would agree. Like I said, I just got them stacked up along the wall. I got so many. But I really appreciate you guys for stopping by. That's the video. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Have a good one, guys.